You can't be the stone worst run defense in the NFL.
Exact same damn team. That's for sure.
They've got issues on both sides of the ball that are leading into these problems beyond just the matchup.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
May be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Hey, let's talk about the Chargers a little bit, shall we? Back-to-back tough games here, for this Chargers offense. I don't really know what to make of it, Matt. Okay, you could excuse the struggles against the Ravens. I think the Ravens just match up really well with what the Chargers want to do. Patriots, I guess you could say, okay, well, Bill Belichick. I'll tell you what, Bill Belichick absolutely confused the hell out of Herbert last year, and it looked like he was doing the exact same damn thing this year too. I guess you could make those kind of arguments and say, okay, well, the Chargers are going to be fine. I don't know. 2 games in a row now, they've really come back to earth, especially after the first 4 weeks of the season where they just could do no wrong.
I think Herbert had a 7.5 QBR in his rookie year matchup with the Patriots.
Right.
Not quite that bad on Sunday, but pretty bad. I think that the Chargers are they've got a structural problem, right? We know that the design of a Brandon Staley defense is okay with and I know we're talking about the offense, but this all ties back in together. So with the defense specifically, we know that the design of this defense and Brandon Staley, being a modern forward-thinking coach, is we are okay if you can run the ball on us. You're okay. We're okay to not be a great run defense, and we're going to dedicate resources to the back end, preventing big plays, especially if you want to run the ball and dink and dunk on us, fine, we'll let you do it. Well, you can do that and be the 25th best run defense in the NFL. You can't be the stone worst run defense in the NFL. You're so third and fourth down heavy. Justin Herbert before this week was top 5 in EPA on late downs, third and fourth down. But their first and second down offense, sneaky, was never that good. They run the ball a lot on first down. Joe Lombardi, I don't know, James, tell me if you disagree. When I watched Chargers offense in the first few weeks, it's okay, this is working, but we're kind of creating a thin margin for error with a quarterback that I don't think we need to, cut a thin margin of error for, because there's so much quick game with this, with this offense, right? They get the ball out fast and they throw it short. We were all oh, well, yay, Mike Williams' ADOT is so low. This is so great. But it's okay, but where's the explosive play? We know that Keenan Allen's always going to be an 8 to 10 yard ADOT player, but Mike Williams was a 9-yard ADOT player. I think that they've got issues on both sides of the ball that are leading into these problems beyond just the matchups, to the point where I'm not nervous about my mainline Chargers players, but I am a little concerned about the way the team is built. And by the way, too, I'm not gonna dog Brandon Staley on this one, but everybody's fawning all over Brandon Staley's press conference answers. It's well, he's still a first-year head coach, and they didn't look like they adjusted a thing off the bye. They were the same team that rolled out there that got their asses kicked against the Ravens.
I guess I don't totally agree with the assessment of the offense, because I actually like what they're doing. And you go back to Joe Lombardi too, and it's this was a staple of a Saints offense, which is, hey, listen, we're going to hit you underneath. We're going to hit you on the intermediate routes, and we're going to kill you on the intermediate routes. But then the kill shots are going to come over the top with randos. And it was always the randos that caught deep shots in that New Orleans offense, right? I feel like that's the role they've given Jalen Guyton and players of that ilk, right? Where you're just all right, Mike Williams, you're so concerned about Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. And it's just oh, here goes Jalen Guyton over the top. And it's all right, here we go. We're off and running. And I think that is a healthy way to run an offense. But you're right. It would be nice. We saw Keenan Allen get one deep shot. It'd be nice to actually see him run a few deeper routes just to kind of sort of keep the defense honest. Young coaching staff, I think, and they're growing. And by the way, listen, there's no shame in losing to the Ravens and Patriots when given their coaching staffs and their personnel. These are high quality teams, but I do think, and I agree with you, there is cause for concern by how they lost those games. right? It
Yeah.
was ugly.
Mhm.
It's ugly.
Yep.
And I
Very
think there is
ugly.
something to that. Yeah. So, it's an interesting one. I don't really know what to make of it because I think overall I still really like the personnel. I love the quarterback. I love the weapons. And I do like I like Staley too. So I don't know. I feel like they're going to figure this whole thing out, and I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert, though, 6.7 intended air yards per pass attempt. Like, we got to kick that up. Like, Justin Herbert does not need to be 6.7, 17th among quarterbacks in total air yards.
True.
Like, we've got to get Herbert up there. I don't totally
true.
have an issue with the way that they're calling plays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't totally have an issue with the way they're just letting teams run all over them, but it's the conjunction of the two that I think has been really problematic. And, like, again, you can't be the stone worst run defense. Like, they've got to do something to figure. They're the absolute worst. They were 32nd in DVOA coming into this game. So just on the offensive players, though, I think they can get this corrected. Like, I actually thought it would be spicy, and I don't know. I don't know that it was a thing that was going to happen, but like, Deshaun Jackson on the trade block with the Rams, I'm like, just let him go to the other locker room. Like, he would be like a nice little speed threat there for the Chargers, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But they got guys like Jalen Guyton. They can use Mike Williams on deeper routes. They're just like, again, it was nice to see Mike Williams get on this volume on slants and flats and like quick outs, stuff like that. But you got to get him on like more deep posts like he had against the Browns. Like, you got to get Keenan Allen a couple of deep shots a game. I would just say on Mike Williams, there's been a lot of folks like in the rest of season rankings. I know in the Discord, like, well, when are we, like, why is Mike Williams not a top 10 receiver? Like, why is Mike Williams still, kind of hovering in that wide receiver, this, that, or whatever. It's like, well, if you had like locked in Mike Williams to be a top 5 receiver rest of the season, like, I don't know that you were going to ever get that, but especially because you've been banged up and he's got 10 targets in 2 straight games or in back-to-back games, like total. So I think you just have to view Mike Williams as like a really high end wide receiver rest of season, and you'll be okay with it. But that's kind of where I'm at with him.
Yeah, it's really tough, right? Because again, I think I don't know, just off visually, it doesn't seem like he's right, and it very well could be that he's injured, and I think Josh Palmer's there. I think they could I'll tell you what, they could probably use Josh Palmer a lot more. I love what he brings to the table. Jesus Christ, we haven't even talked about Austin Ekeler. The dude's a beast. Dude's an absolute beast.
Yeah. I know, yeah, and like, I don't even care. Like, I don't want them to run as much on first and second down as they do. I want them to be a little more pass heavy on first down, but and that's fine. Like, Austin Ekeler can still be fine in that situation. I don't think there's any problem with his fantasy situation. And so by the way, we're doing all this complaining about the Chargers and the last couple of games. They get the Eagles and the Vikings the next 2 weeks. So like,
let's go.
Yeah, I mean, they'll smoke the Eagles. Talk about a team that will give you easy completions. Like, come on, take the easy completions on us. We play the softest zone coverage in the entire NFL.